coalition of civil society organizations in Rivers State has submitted a formal petition to the House of Representatives Ad-Hoc Committee overseeing the political crisis in the state, accusing the sole administrator of spending 100 billion naira recklessly. The petition, signed by 17 CSOs, accused Vice Admiral Ibas, retired, the state sole administrator, of gross financial misconduct, alleging that he is operating under the directives of Nyesom Wike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. The petition, addressed to the chairman of the committee, claimed that Ibas' actions have worsened the ongoing political crisis and urged the committee to urgently restore democratic governance in Rivers State, and expressed grave concern over what they described as severe, provocative and brazen acts of lawlessness and impunity committed by Ibas, arguing that his conduct contradicts the constitutional principles underpinning the emergency rule declared by the President Bola Tinubu on March 18, 2025. The CSOs also allege that over 100 billion naira in state funds have been spent recklessly with no tangible developments to show for it, and it faulted Ibas for failing to engage political actors or stakeholders to ease tensions or broker peace, stressing that the state administrator had not only made genuine attempts and efforts to consult the warring gladiators in Rivers State crisis in order to secure peace and reconciliation between them. The group equally alleged that the state administrator has also not made any move to interface with the generality of Rivers stakeholders so as to forge alliances for the reconciliation of the warring parties and the resolution of the crisis, and accused the Ibas of openly favoring Wike's camp in government appointments and administrative actions. The coalition urged the House Committee to take urgent steps to ensure accountability and democratic stability, adding that if the state administrator is not immediately checked, he would waste and fritter away all the funds of the state government on recklessness and designed political haste. In their plea, the CSOs asked the committee to overturn suspensions imposed on political appointees and reinstate all statutory institutions and positions dissolved or altered by the administrator. Let me start with you, Okechukwu Edenwo. What do you make of this story?
For me, I think most of these organizations, they've lost focus, they've lost direction, and the reason why most of them are in place, I think they are doing the left line. First and foremost, if you come out with such accusations, there should be evidences, empirical one, tested and trusted at that, so that people will know that first, Rivers funds, 100 billion, was spent recklessly. Secondly, for me, the way I look at most of these organizations, ordinarily, I would have kept quiet, or the governor would have advised the administrator to keep quiet, but once he keeps quiet, it becomes consent, and they say silence is a consent. So, for me, they should come up with evidences, facts, to show that 100 billion naira of state fund has been spent in less than 1 month. In the first place, how much is Rivers' budget for the year? Can the administrator, in the space of 1 month, spend 100 billion without records, evidences? Well, for me, it's laughable, it's pitiable, and something that should not even be given thought. But if you don't respond to this kind of accusation, it becomes something that has come to stay. But for me, it's pitiable, laughable that civil liberty or civil society organizations, they have lost direction, they have lost focus. Asking that he hasn't made any effort to engage warring faction, which other effort does he want to make? Something that the president started, it didn't work. Matters went from the court of first instance, appellate court, Supreme Court. So what do they want him to do? That's my take on this.
All right, very well. What do you make of this story, George?
Okay, it's obvious that the civil society groups have lost track, because the accusation is baseless. We are talking about 100 billion naira in a month, recklessly. No, we are not even talking about part of the money used in paying salary. It is not about the current expenditure now that the man has frittered away 100 billion within a month. I mean, he's not carried out any project. Like my brother here said, there's no evidence, there's no fact backing that accusation. It's obvious that most of them are working for the ousted governor. They have that sentiment for him. And
it's not ousted.
No, the suspended governor, yes. Sorry. The suspended governor. So they are working for him. They have that sentiment. They are sharing that sentiment. They want to see if there's anything the House of Rep Committee on oversight on Rivers State can do to restore the suspended governor. But the truth is, this man has a mandate for 6 months that is officially gazetted. He has a mandate. So whatever they are doing, as long as there is no evidence to back that this man, the sole administrator, has done something wrong, he will be there for another 5 months, because he has stayed there for about 1 month now. He will be there for another 5 months, after which, if the two warring faction refuses, to mend fences, to come back, this one will be initial 6 months. There might be another 6 months. So the truth is, they should allow this man to concentrate. He has a mandate of restoring peace and order in Rivers State. We all knew. We have been here to understand what played out before the state of emergency was declared. If the state of emergency was not declared at the time, the president did, maybe by now the state would have been engulfed, because it came to a point, to a height where it's just remaining little to bust. So let them allow the man to do his job. His job is to restore peace. He's not even here to carry out any project. Accusing the man of appointing Wike's persons or things like that, I have not seen it. It does not have any merit. So most of those administrators in the local government, we are all retired civil servants.
Okay.
Just mention one person who is a card-carrying member of the political party or who is supporting Wike. None. If you look at their pictures, you see that they have all retired old men who are in their 60s and all of that. And all through have been playing politics in Rivers State. We've not even had such names. These are core civil servants.
Right.
So they should allow the man to concentrate. And let the suspended governor take this time, that is this 5 months that is remaining, to reflect on his actions and activities that led us to this level. So let him see how he can make peace. Let them move. There is still a window open for such reconciliation. Let him move. Let him leave some of all these people who are urging him, who are doing protests here and there. Those things will not change anything. If I were to be him, I've said this thing privately and I will say it here today. If I were to be the suspended governor, I will just take whatever police orderly that I have, just one of them, and make a move. Without anybody, not even my wife will be aware. I will make a move and make sure that I reach an agreement with the warring factions, and will also petition the president to say, we have agreed, so that by the end of that 6 months, they will restore democratic governance in Rivers State.
All right. Okay, now, the CSOs allege that the sole administrator has failed to reconcile warring factions in Rivers State. What do you have to say to that?
This man has 6 months. He's just done 1 month as at today. Technically, he's even short of 2 days before his 1 month. So if any person says he has failed to reconcile warring factions, he still has 5 months. So why are they pushing him? Who are the warring factions? Who are the gladiators? Who are the actors? You need to identify them. Once you identify them, you try to reach out to the public. Do they even know if he's trying to reach out to them privately or publicly? So for me, the civil liberty or civil society organization, they have lost track, just like my brother said. And once a man or a train is off track, you're veering towards the wrong direction. And that's what's happening to the civil society organization. They've taken side. And in this case, sentiments and emotions cannot take us anywhere. In fact, sentiments and emotion brought us to where we are today. So they are still whipping those sentiments. And it's not good for the polity of the state. This whole thing, somebody has to come down from his high horses. Remove pride, ego, and make the right move.
All right. All right, very well. I want to ask you a question, George. Now, these CSOs are alleging that the sole administrator has not made any effort to reconcile the warring factions. Now, when the CSO was giving a speech and was speaking about his mandate, what he said was that he is to restore democratic governance in Rivers State, democratic institutions in Rivers State. That's part of the mandate, he said. Peace and democratic institutions in Rivers State. If he is to restore that, does that in any way, restoring democratic institution, is it in any way similar to reconciling warring factions? Could you elucidate more on that?
I think that the civil liberty organization is mixing something here. The sole administrator does not have that mandate to, restore peace between the warring factions. That is not his mandate. His mandate is to restore peace and order in Rivers State, given the challenge that we faced before the state of emergency was proclaimed. So the issue of reconciling the warring factions is off the man. It's something that the two parties that are having tussles can reach out to eminent personalities to hold. In fact, let me just open up to you here now. What we were told ab initio is that the Senate and the House of Rep committee that has taken over the oversight functions of Rivers State that has to do with lawmaking, we set up a high-powered committee that will reconcile the warring faction. It is not the sole administrator. The man has his job cut out for him. Peace and order. Pay salaries to the workers to ensure that government continue to move. It has nothing to do with, because in fact, if he's the one involved in restoring, bringing these two factions, it's even, like you can see, they have already accused him of being biased based on the appointment they said he made. So what are they even looking for? If he calls for such a peace, would they even trust him? Because they've already accused him of being biased. So it is not his mandate.
All right.
It is the mandate of the House of Rep and the Senate that has the oversight functions. They have even set up a committee head by Professor Peter Yombe or something, to head that committee to reconcile the warring faction. So they are mixing things up. It is not the responsibility of the sole administrator.
All right.
It's not.
Now, go ahead.
For me, when you even talk about reconciliation, 2003, the president called everybody. They had an agreement. And at the end of the day, some person says there are political solutions. They opted out of the political solution and sought judicial solution. Went from first instance, appellate to supreme. So what else do they want? This whole thing, like I said,
so
it's more like a game of...
reverting back to political solution.
This whole thing, they missed the track, the first instance. This whole thing, as it stands now, it's more like a game of chess. It's more like a game of draft in the local balance. When you don't hold the aces, you don't have advantage anymore. You are at a disadvantaged position. And when you are at a disadvantaged position, first you need to come down from the high horses.
It's as simple as
you need to remove pride, sentiments, and ego.
All right, very